Hi, boys and girls. I know you can't see my face, but I wanted to show you this slide deck as I'm going through our last preparations we're doing here for communion. So in this video, we are getting ready for communion. We are really, really close, and that's really our main focus. So let's dive in. We've almost made it. I know you've watched a lot of videos and I've done a lot of talking, and you've probably looked through some of the work with your book, but I wanted to go over what's left for us to do. So some of this is logistics, like when and where and those sorts of things. And some of it is just things I want to make sure that you know before you get there that day. So when? The dates are May 1st and May 8th at 11 o'clock. You don't have to arrive super duper early because we're not going to process in. You're just going to go right to your pew. So I personally would shoot for like 10:30, 10:40, so you have plenty of time to get in and get settled with your family. And your grown-up should know which of the two dates you have been assigned. So the next logistic, and we've talked about this with your grown-ups, is what to wear. You may be wearing a suit or a dress. If you're a guy, you might be wearing like khakis and a blazer. We used to wear, girls only wore white, boys only wore black, but now the girls might wear a little bit of color and the boys might wear a little bit of color, and that's okay. The one thing I want to point out, and I know you guys already know this because you're probably used to this from school, is that we're all going to be wearing masks. The priest will take their mask off when they're talking, and that's okay. That's the rule. That's how they'll do things. But when it's time for communion, they'll put their mask back on to keep everybody safe, and then they'll come down. But you'll see me there. I'll be wearing my mask. Oh, look, I had a slide on when you arrive. So when you get there, like I said, half hour, 20 minutes early, you're going to look for your name on the pew. Once you find it, you're going to sit with your guests. Everybody's allowed to bring 6 guests with them. We want you to sit on the inside, which, we'll be there to help you figure that out. So if you're on the left side of the church, you're going to sit on the right side of the pew. Don't worry about that too much because we're going to have a rehearsal coming up. So you'll get to see what we mean by that, but we'll be there to guide you through it. And then you'll just sit with your family and wait for Mass to begin. So things that'll be the same as it was in other years, like maybe you went to an older brother or sister's communion. So it will be a full Mass, like all the normal prayers, all the normal standing and sitting and kneeling and readings. Like some of my videos talked about the liturgy of the Word and the liturgy of the Eucharist. Your family will be there. I will be there, and you will get communion for the first time. So the important stuff, like getting communion and being at Mass, are the same. There's a few things that are admittedly a little bit different. So you'll sit with your family as opposed to sitting with me in the class. You will only have 6 guests, where maybe you would have had more. You'll go right to your pew when you get there instead of us all walking in together. Like the church can't sit together, which if you've attended Mass and you see the bows that kind of map out the seats, you know that already. And obviously wearing masks is a little different. Another thing I wanted to add, I don't know if there's another cool spot in here for this, but um, Sister Mary Kay and Mrs. Miowski had decided that it'd be kind of neat if the catechist gave communion, because as it turns out, myself and the other catechist, Miss Vidya, were both Eucharistic ministers. So the priest will be giving you your first Holy Communion, but for the families, Miss Vidya and I will be giving out communion. So that'll be kind of fun. I'll get to give communion to your families. I did make a separate video for how to receive with a mask on. I'm going to put that in my weekly email, but also note that we will be practicing that at rehearsal, so don't worry about that. So what you can expect from the Mass, maybe you haven't been to Mass for a while. Some people aren't back to attending Mass regularly, and I understand. So the Mass order will be in the normal order, the liturgy of the Word, right? So there'll be 3 readings, one from the Old Testament, one from the New Testament, and one from the Gospel. And we'll have all of our normal psalms and prayers that we typically have. In terms of the responses and the songs, I don't want you guys to worry about those. Partly because I just don't expect you to have that memorized yet, what to say. And also for the songs, the books that you're used to seeing when you used to go to mass that were in the little pocket, they're not there right now because of COVID. So it's not like we can pick them up and, let's all turn to song 100. So we're not going to worry about that. In terms of the sit, standing, and kneeling, I did give you guys that video on when we do that and why we do that, but you can just follow along. The whole church will be full, and so you can just follow along what everybody else and your grown-ups doing. Communion time will be a special time. Normally, it's after the liturgy of the Eucharist, and the ushers start telling people when to go up. But when you guys go up, we're going to do it a little slower. We're going to give you a little extra time, so don't feel like you have to rush. I really want you guys to take in the moment, and that's like the important thing that I wanted to make sure I got in here is that you're not just getting a piece of bread. You are getting the body of Jesus for the first time, which is, it's literally the body of Jesus. It might taste like bread, but that's not what it is. So this is something that I want you to remember. It's something I want you to take in. So really take your time when you receive. So, you walk up and you bow before you receive communion, and you can take off your mask and then put your hands out, and we'll show you how to do the hand part, and put communion in your mouth. And, my family steps to the side and does the sign of the cross. Your family might not. That's okay. You do what your family does. And then when you go back to the pew, there's going to be a little bit of time for prayer. So you're going to, kneel in your kneeler and bow your head. And that's a great time to just say thank you for what you just received. So after Mass ends, then there will be a photographer there to photograph you and your family. So just hold tight. If your family doesn't want the picture, that's okay. But if you just hold tight in your pew, then you'll be called to come up for your picture, and then that will be sent to you digitally, probably a couple weeks after communion, because we've got to get through both. And those are nice. I think you guys know my son Jack got his communion last year in July during all the COVID craziness, and it was really nice to have that picture. And my silly family, we took one with our masks off, which you will be able to do, but we also took a funny one with our masks on, because we said, we never want to forget when Jack got his communion in the time when we had to wear masks, because hopefully that time won't be forever, right? Okay, I think I probably will have other videos for you to watch, so I'm not going to go too long on this, but that's kind of it. We will go over all of this at our rehearsal together, and, I'm praying for you guys. I know this isn't easy to do when we're not together, but I think you guys got this. I know you guys got this. You guys are smart kids. I believe that we got this together. So until I see you guys, I'm praying for you, and I ask that you pray for me. I'll see you guys soon.